It's me, Vera, here to remind you that this is an adult podcast. That means we're going to deal with tough topics. Take a break if you need it, and be kind to yourself, because we sure won't be.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cracked Crown Season 2, Episode, 20-something. 20. Okay, 20. Okay, yeah, welcome to Episode 20. It's been a few weeks. I hope everybody has had a nice little break. Con season is in full swing, so it's kind of why we've been missing. But yeah, hello, welcome. As always, I am your storyteller, Mike Martin, joined by 3 of my 5 players, Bub, Dot, and Josh today. Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
How are you guys feeling? How you all doing?
I don't know. We're always getting to the end, and that makes me nervous because I know you have something sneaky planned.
Always. I got to keep you guys on your toes. But
It's all good.
anyway, we got to get into the show, though. Obviously, there's some stuff to get to. We left off on quite the scene last episode. But before we do, a big shout out to you, all you listeners, for listening, tuning in, wherever you listen, whatever podcast app or YouTube or wherever you're listening. Drop us a thumbs up or give us a rating or leave a review. Like everything on the internet now, it's all algorithm driven. So any interaction you can even have with the show, letting people know is great. And it helps us kind of keep chugging along, and we know we have a trickling up number. More and more people find us every day, thanks to you guys.
And actually, I know for a fact the majority of you out there listen to us on Spotify.
Yeah.
And Spotify has recently opened up for you to not just leave a review, but comments.
Your comments, and if we feel extra spicy, polls as well. We can even put polls up for every episode.
Okay, well, that's on me, Mathis. Don't tell everybody that.
No, it's fine. It's really, really annoying.
Don't out me like that, Mathis.
I'm outing you because I don't even do it on Chilluminati all the time. All right, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, leave us wherever you are. Just leaving us a review is huge and goes a long way, and we appreciate it. If you want to be part of the community, we have a Discord. All the links you can find kind of just on our social medias and stuff, where you can jump in for free and just join the community of almost 1,000 people, I think, over there, which is insane. Something crazy like that. Dot, take a peek. And if you want to go above and beyond, that's where Patreon comes in. Patreon.com/podbynight, where you can jump into one of many different tiers that gets all kinds of nice bonuses just for supporting us. But the biggest bonus is you knowing you are keeping this show moving forward. Isn't that right? That's damn right. So patreon.com/podbynight, where you can jump in and support us directly. How many people we got on there? Did you get a number?
Yeah, I'm looking now. I mean, good night. Yeah, you're looking at we're really close to the 1,000 mark, which means literally you don't have to pay anything to come join us. Yeah. So, without a doubt, we are actually, one of you will probably be the 1,000th person to join the Discord, because if math is correct, we're like right on the cusp. So,
yeah, we are. Your math is correct.
and people sit around, and you know what? They don't just talk about this show. They talk about our other shows. The Fallout game coming, the Saturday SOS show. So there's somebody out there that wants to talk to you.
Yes.
about what we do here at Pod by Night.
And if you need more story, there's text RP story to read while you're over there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Without further ado, then let's jump into the episode, shall we? Let's rein things in, set the scene, and pick up almost immediately where we left off last time, with the exception of it being the night afterward. So, everybody make me a Rouse check first.
I'm going to have to make you 4.
You know, you got to do what you got to do. What's your hunger at right now, Vera?
Nothing.
That's
why,
fine.
Josh? Why?
Shaun is at a 5. This is the first time Shaun has ever been at a 5 hunger as a full-blooded kindred, I think. I'm almost positive.
Yep.
Bub, you're at 3. What are you at right now before you roll, Vera?
At a 3 hunger. So there is a very high probability that it will end poorly.
So I don't want you to roll. I know you rolled 1. It will count that one. But any further you roll, would you have set up with Duke or Shaun a contingency, knowing how you're feeling? Should they be there? Anybody be there while you wake up? Because
yes, I imagine all you saw after y'all, Shaun definitely didn't chant some Latin. We definitely got Vera back on her feet.
You probably had a brief conversation about that, but you were like, tomorrow. We'll just talk about it tomorrow.
There were probably no words. I probably gave you all an eat shit and die look, and I held up an empty wine glass expecting it will be full when I wake up from this. And I just set it on the table and went back to bed.
It's filled when you wake up. So it'll have a point of hunger in there.
Great. You know what? That could save the day.
Good. All right. Let's see. We got one roll in. It was a success. You got 3 more to go for your aggravated damage.
So that's the waking. Here we go for the aggravated.
Okay. Hunger 5. Yeah, Hunger 5, but you didn't roll another failure after your Hunger 5, so you didn't go back into torpor, which is perfect. But now you have to drink. And if you drink from the glass, you still run the risk of entering a hunger frenzy because you taste blood, but you have nothing to take it out on. So you're probably going to drink the first thing that goes in nearby. If you have to you see the blood in the wine glass. That's what causes you to roll a fucking frenzy. So you wake up, you see the blood, and you need to roll a frenzy resist check. Luckily, Shaun isn't waking up to a glass of blood next to him, but
I succeeded.
He's fine. You resist your frenzy, you roll 4 successes. That's literally the most that you would ever need for any resist check. You're able to resist and down a point of hunger, bringing you down to 4. And Duke, you said it was that you were at 3, correct?
Correct.
Our scene then that we kind of move into as our what would be dark screen fades into a familiar looking area. Where does Shaun, has he picked a room to be his in the Blackstone Hotel? Where does Shaun regularly stay in this hotel?
Right now he hasn't picked a place. So
does he kind of go in room to room almost on that 13th floor?
He's picking a bunch of different places. He's trying them out, seeing what suits his taste. I don't think he's found anything quite yet.
Now, is he particularly fond of the luxury suites on the 13th floor? The ones with all the extra safety measures?
He doesn't care about the safety measures. He just cares about the luxuries.
Yeah, it's all luxurious. The whole thing is overly comfortable with the satin sheets and all that. So as our screen fades in from the dark to see this familiar suite, the lid of the coffin swings gently open as the night sky takes. And however Shaun's was sleeping in that coffin, his eyes open. And in this moment, Shaun, as you kind of rouse, last night when you went to bed, the hunger was ravenous, but it was something you could at least kind of do your best to put away to the side and get to torpor. Today, though, the moment your eyes open as our camera zooms in and we really get a close profile shot of Shaun in the casket, the only thing instantaneously that you think about is nourishment. You are ravenous. Any coherent thought, while you're capable of having them, is a fight. Any attempt to kind of move forward with any thought is obscured by the thick river of blood that runs between you and accomplishing said task or thought. It's what you need. And you have never, in your unlife as a thin blood to now, ever felt this before. How does Shaun react, if at all?
He rolls over and picks up the phone, presses a button, and just growls down room service, and then slams the receiver.
Understanding that you basically have 2 options here. The room service is going to bring you a live blood doll, as you are in the suite. The higher end, you are part of the coterie that now kind of at least knows the owner, the new owner. And you have the mini fridge in here that has blood bags in it.
Oh, shit. Yeah, okay.
You would know of both, but obviously, like, you know, a warm-blooded person sounds way more delicious, but you're not like out of control. So would he call for room service or would he pop a mini fridge for a blood bag first?
He would do both.
Okay, so you pick up the phone and then open the mini fridge?
Yeah, there you go, straight to the mini fridge. And I have just realized that I have 3 aggravated damage.
Oh, you have 3 more to roll, baby. You have 3 more rouse checks to roll. You might not be waking up and calling anybody. All right, let me see. Okay, you succeed.
I'm good.
Succeed.
I'm
Holy
good.
crap,
Oh my
you
God.
actually succeeded. You're awake. Honestly, it might have been safer if you had stayed asleep. So you open the mini fridge, and there are you have 5 different choices of blood bags, all labeled different blood types. You have A, C, B, or A, O, B, and you see blood, and something happens that catches you off guard. Everybody's beast is unique, to each their own, in that they're specifically tailored for the soul of the body that it inhabits. And as you see the blood, that ravenous hunger almost immediately vanishes before you even have an opportunity to feel that hunger. As a familiar, warm, friendly, calming voice simply says, "Just sit back, my boy. I'll take care of the difficult parts. I need you to make me a resist for hunger frenzy check, please."
Oh, have I recovered willpower? I can't remember what that... Okay.
Everybody recovers their willpower, yeah.
3.
I think that's enough. Let me double check. It's 5 hunger, but I'm pretty sure.
Sight of an open wound. Taste of blood at hunger 4. Fail rouse check while at hunger 5 is 4.
What about sight of blood at hunger 5?
They don't have that on there, but the provocation is sight of blood at hunger 4 is 2.
Okay.
So it would make sense to be more difficult at hunger 5.
But still, even if it was up 1, you still rolled 3. I would consider it. I wouldn't say it would double in its difficulty. I would say it would probably go to a 3, and you would still succeed. So in that way, you would still succeed. It's the tasting of the blood that's more difficult to resist, I think. So the voice would, while you would hear and feel the familiar comfort of that voice, you are not out of your own control as a player to be unable to resist said voice. While it is a tempting offer, this hunger is debilitating. It is as close to pain as you felt.
Thank you, but just take it nice and slow.
And so you reach out and grab one of the bags. Are you being picky about any particular what you drink? I doubt you care too much.
No, not right now.
And so you'll grab one, and as you down it, you will set yourself down to 4 hunger. As you finish drinking the blood bag, the door opens, and in walks a young gentleman, maybe in his 20s or so, just dressed with a button-up shirt and like dress slacks and dress shoes. Steps in, closes the door behind him, and says, "Where would you like me to sit, sir?"
Just on the bed.
He moves over to the coffin and kind of like saddles up on the edge of it. And then he quickly just kind of undoes, just very nonchalantly, just undoes a couple of buttons, just kind of quickly tugs his shirt out of the way and tilts his head to expose. And he actually even taps on his neck a couple times, trying to expose a vein for you, and just sits there and just kind of stares at the wall. He's like, "Take your time whenever you're ready. And when you're done, if you don't mind just calling room services again, let them know I'll need some care."
Of course.
He nods and just kind of waits.
Yeah, Shaun quite carefully goes in for this because I don't think he fully grasps what's going on, but he does know himself.
Mm-hmm. As you reach forward and your fangs slide forward out from your gums and they sink into the flesh of the human, and the kiss kind of lays itself bare to him, the taste of that vitae rushes like a wine into your mouth. And at 4 hunger, at the taste of blood, you still need to make me a hunger frenzy check. So make me a hunger frenzy check.
I think this one is going to be difficulty 3.
Yeah, I think at hunger 4, this will be difficulty 3.
Cool.
And you can't willpower roll frenzy checks, right?
Don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. After a point of hunger sates you, and then another, you can feel his pulse slowing, his breathing becoming more shallow. But you don't care. In this moment, you actually hear that voice one more time. "You don't need to do the dirty work. Let me do it." And after having sated a couple points of hunger, that relief, that relaxation, almost without realizing it, lets your guard down. And you take the offer, whether you do so willingly or not. And Father, essentially, takes hold of your body and drains you down to 0 hunger as he kills the individual, exsanguinates the body. And when that 0 hunger hits, Shaun, you return to conscious awareness of where you are. And for the first time ever, since you have been turned from a thin blood to now, you feel no hunger. You forgot what it's like to not even feel peckish, a little nagging thought, how good everybody would taste. It's quiet. You're at peace. You're sated. and there's a dead body lying gently within the coffin. You know the hotel has cleaning crews, and accidents happen and so on. As part of having spent some time at the Blackstone, you very much all have learned that the Blackstone is catered to kindred. Mistakes happen. There's a cleaning crew. The number is on the phone itself.
I think Shaun very quietly calls that number.
You do so, and all you hear on the other line is a female voice that repeats the name of your room number and asks for you to confirm that you need a cleaning crew. You simply would say yes, I imagine?
Yeah.
And when done, you just hear them hang up on the other side. You don't even hear goodbye. You make your way out?
Yeah, I think it is time for Shaun to... he goes to the bathroom first and cleans all the crap off his face. This guy...
Hey, you didn't gush him or anything like that. It was clean. You probably would have sloppier from drinking from the blood bag, honestly. But yeah, you go back, you probably splash some water in your face and you look into the mirror to see if who are you going to see when you look in the mirror? And you see yourself, and you see Shaun. And you want to make your way out afterward and head down to where Vera and Duke are, or is Shaun thinking anything different?
He's going to go and find the others.
Well, as Shaun's cleaning himself and making his way out to the front door, our camera plummets 13 floors down to the basement, the rather old wooden stone room with the luxurious bed, and where Vera is standing with an empty wine glass next to her. You're at 4 hunger, correct?
I am.
Mm-hmm. There's no other blood around you, and there's no one else around you. Does Vera reach out and call for room service as well? You would have the same luxuries at your disposal down here as well as you would in the 13th floor. Is that something Vera would ask for?
Does Duke sleep in this room?
I don't think Duke sleeps in here unless you wanted him. I assume Vera just kind of wordlessly claimed this room as Vera. Even if you didn't own the hotel, I thought...
Oh, I'm sure, but it is the safest space, so she would offer it to the rest of the coterie. Did Duke take a room, or did he decide to stay down here?
He's curled up at the foot of your bed.
It's like Michael Scott when sleeping on the ottoman at the foot of the bed.
Duke hasn't claimed a space in the Blackstone yet.
Okay.
That's what I thought. He's been kind of...
So you do stay in this room for now, or are you transient?
He would probably be near you for the time being.
Yeah.
Just to see you through whatever is happening next.
So even if you're not in this room, you're in an adjacent one. Because remember, there was another little area.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, you probably would have walked in Duke as she was finishing drinking from her wine glass and placing it elegantly on the bedside table where it was left the previous night empty, waiting to be filled. You feel very hungry still, obviously, Vera, but at least you have a little bit more control.
I'll keep my composure. I finish it thinking really only one glass? And I roll out of whatever bed is down here.
It's with the silken curtains and at the foot of the bed is the picture.
Yeah, I probably throw on whatever silk robe is given to us since, my side. And actually will probably check my side in the mirror to actually see the correction of damage done.
It looks completely healed. You have no evidence that there was a wound there. The veins that were ripped out and whatnot. No evidence of any of it at all.
Do I see Duke?
Yep. He walks in. You probably, like I said, you place the glass on the table. Maybe check your arm and to see, am I good, or it's the side of you rather, the side of you, not the arm.
Yeah, because I still have 2 superficial or aggravated to heal, but
that's more internal than external, and you don't really see the remnants of it. Maybe you see a little darker vein, but that's all. It was all taken out,
right?
So it truly looks completely healed to you on at least a really normal glance, and that's when Duke would walk in, probably.
Hear the sounds of the door shutting gently behind him.
Something that I bet Duke does on purpose because he's probably more used to making them utterly silent, and it's more of a polite thing for Vera.
As the door kind of clicks, I won't even turn around. I'll probably note you through eye contact in the mirror behind me as I'm kind of checking out the wound or what's left of it or where it was. And Vera will say, "No one is to know that I survived, Duke."
Very well.
I thought you'd like to join me for maybe a fresh bite to eat. Then we can discuss further my untimely demise.
I'd much like to do that.
Where is Shaun?
I'm afraid that my unique requirements for feeding have always posed a bit of a problem, Vera.
Ah, I see. Well, I'm sure we can find somebody around here who suits your fancy and will make some trade or deal with you.
I suppose we can.
Where is Shaun?
He would be making his way to you at this point, and so maybe as the tail end, as your conversation kind of finds its natural early conclusion, the door would also open a little bit less gently this time, into the opposite door, and in walks Shaun.
Ah.
I assume you replaced your shirt where the fire kind of burnt out and whatnot.
Yeah, he's found himself a basic new wardrobe. He needs to go shopping, but yeah.
Shaun.
Evening.
You see Vera smile at you, and not that like cheeky smile, but like maybe a genuine smile? Maybe? I owe you both a great deal of gratitude.
And you're feeling better then?
I am. And who would have thought all it took was some kind of Latin ritual to make it happen? Shaun.
Yeah.
I did not know that Latin was a regular language that the British spoke.
Well, depends on how nerdy you are. Unfortunately, I'm not very nerdy, so don't know where that came from.
Is that the first time?
I've spoken Latin, yeah.
Without assuming too much, do me a favor and tell Father I said thank you.
Will do.
You hear no voice. You hear nothing. Your mind is clear as all hell, and you feel fucking great, Shaun. There is no father in your mind to thank right now.
Later.
Yes, I have no doubt he'll be back. That being said, Duke and I were just about to have a little drink and discuss my most recent passing.
Great, yeah. We should be careful about drinking up all the hotel supply. There won't be anything for the guests, you know?
Oh, don't worry. I come equipped with a taxidermist. Duke, on the other hand, what were you thinking for this evening?
I'm sorry, food is not on my mind. I think it's a bit eerie, and we point out the elephant in the room that we naturally as kindred have an extreme fear, a phobia, if you will, of flame. And Shaun now speaks Latin and commands it.
I was a bit more subtle, but yes, I had planned to make that topic of conversation.
Well, I don't really know what to tell you. That's not something I knew how to do. Father suggested that I try it, and I thought I could do it a different way, and it was working. But I lost control.
You mean when we were all staring at my insides?
When we were all staring at your insides, it was going very well until I lost control. Used a lot of blood concentration.
How many times has he come to you like that, Shaun?
Like that? Never. But he does appear whenever he feels like it.
Maybe it's because you were a thin blood. But when you diablerize another kindred, it's not often that they stick with you in such a palpable way. Thus Duke's concern.
We did foil his plans. Quite a thorn in his side. If you were to surrender yourself and allow him to take over, who's to say that he would not exact some form of revenge?
I know. I didn't really allow it. I didn't have a lot of choice. I'm gonna work on it.
It's the lack of choice, Shaun. Because as much as he likes you, he despises me.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Me too.
Put a lid on it.
Better yet, do us all a favor. Stop keeping the truth from us. Duke is a rather intelligent fellow, and though I lack book smarts, I can finagle my way in and out of any situation. We are the best chance you have for ridding yourself of this little disease.
If I find out anything, I'll let you know.
You, long ago, in New York, witnessed something with Max in the basement of that club. You called it a ritual. Max said it was demon worship. Something happened when you were at that little cult space.
Yeah. Well, I don't really like to think about it, but he manipulated me into draining him dry. And I don't know, there's something different about this. So
I can recall, how did that event end when we discovered it? Was it not torched? Comprised entirely of flame?
You told the Tremere and they went in and torched the place, yeah.
Correct. But if the ritual, the demon rising, whatever you want to call it, was complete, it doesn't matter that they torched it. Work was done.
We were also informed secondhand that the Tremere had torched the location. What if that's how they found it and just reported that it was their doings because there was nothing to be discovered?
I'm not entirely in a disagreement with you. The Tremere tend to be, in short, liars.
Great. Well, if they're liars, I'm not super keen on them rooting around in my head, so maybe we can find another way.
It's fine. I wouldn't allow them to, not easily enough, so I would rather you allow me to root inside of your head. Mia as well. I'll need her assistance.
Oh, yes, the girlfriend.
Yes, the girlfriend.
Let's take a moment and think about the fact that in all fiction there is some truth. We know that Dracula didn't exist, but he is the Gamarilla's way of making the concept of vampires more digestible.
That's false information, Vera. Dracula actually did exist. He was a real Tzimisce threat for a long time.
No way! I've got him on my team?
Yep, he was a Zim.
Being said, the point is we have been allowed to put out certain bits of information to slowly allow the general public to accept us in their spaces without sheer panic and rioting. What do we know of the stories of demons? Other than the Catholic Church, keep that out of our mouths.
Depends on how guilty you're feeling, but demons, will you make pacts with demons? They're all flamey and fiery? Oh shit, okay.
The story of a demon at a crossroads, selling one's soul, making a pact. What if Father made a pact with a demon? And though we may have some fictitious version of what we, even as kindred, know, what if he made a pact so that he can never go away?
I mean, he's dumb enough to make a pact with a demon, whatever that means.
That I've no doubt.
Oh, okay, so whatever, I've got hijacking me.
Well, that's...
What's the advantage in that? I can spit flames now. That's pretty cool. That's an advantage, but like, if we find out what it is, that would be great. I don't think it's going to happen this evening.
No, Shaun, you can't figure it out because when Father knows, Duke will figure it out.
Great.
And what we find, we will have to keep from you in full transparency until we can sort the problem.
I'd like to posit an idea, if we have the moment still, before anyone else joins us.
Oh, please, Duke.
Catholic Church has gone out of its way to disseminate facts before fiction, and us as kindred, we have similarly done so with creatures, our own boogeymen, like Dracula, the Baba Yaga, if you will, all of these. What if this is happening internally in Shaun?
It's all psychological.
What if, hypothetically speaking, if my line of thought might be so linear, what if this demon, positing the idea that it's inside of Shaun, courtesy of Father's mistakes?
I see.
What if it's using a familiar and swallowable voice of Father to speak so that Shaun can use its abilities?
Interesting.
Father's not actually alive. He's a threat that is simply bemused by the idea because something less tolerable, less savvy is using his voice to communicate through him for Shaun. To relinquish control.
This is good. This is why, Duke, you are on the case. Your first one for your new detective agency. The great mystery of Shaun's demons. Psychological or no.
That kind of makes sense.
Interesting.
We were going on that big walk and I punched him in the nose because he was pissing me off.
You punched two in the nose.
Father. Well, the weird thing about the nose punching was that it hurt me. So maybe it's just a connection, but...
You had a physical reaction to a psychological hallucination?
I was going on a trip. I punched him. My nose hurt.
Vera looks to Duke again, like, write that down. Yeah, basically. And Vera looks...
And I did make a pact.
I'm sorry, you made a pact?
And as soon as you say, I'm sorry, you made a pact, the phone in this room rings.
I can't answer it. I'm dead.
I will approach.
You answer the phone.
I don't even say anything. I just pick it up.
As you pick up the phone, there's a pleasant male voice in the other end. I'm looking for owner of the establishment, Mr. Duke Premond. This is one of the hotel's services.
Speaking.
Mr. Premond, just to inform you, there has been an accidental exsanguination of a mortal victim in 13th floor, suite number 12. We have disposed of the body. The cleaning crew is called. Would you like us to dismiss the event and take care of all back-end issues? Would you like to hold the event over the particular kindred or anything you particularly would want?
Which kindred was the occupant of this room?
Mr. Shaun Best.
Sean's halfway out the door.
No, you can't hear their shit. It's not on a speakerphone.
No, but he knows what the phone call's about.
Please dispose of the corpse. This will remain in-house. Thank you, concierge.
Understood. And I assume you hang up before they even hang up. And then, I don't know, Vera was kind of like cut off by the phone ringing, but I don't know. You said, I'm sorry, you made a pact.
Oh, if Shaun tries to leave, I belong.
Oh, I doubt you, Vera's
There's no way you're leaving till I get an answer to that question, but I do look to Duke very politely. Who was it?
No, I have a phone call. Something that I must tend to shortly after this conversation.
I will ask no further questions, but of Shaun. Let's go back to the part where you made a pact with who?
Back to the demon thing, kind of spurred something a little bit. Lake of fire in the heart of the earth. I stuck my arm in and promised it blood in exchange for fire.
You're telling me you made a pact with a demon to give him your kindred blood, and in exchange you can now spit fire.
What fire?
Vera looks at Duke. Like I said, your first assignment will be well compensated. I will pay for it myself.
Didn't Duke already have a name, though? Didn't he, like a few sessions back, he kind of put some things together and had some research and he knew the name of...
I knew the name of the mountains. I gathered some information and I was left on a trail about something in regards to Khaldun?
Yes. Yeah. The demon.
Kapala.
Kapala, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, I forget what Duke knew about, other than it was tied to...
It was a dead trail. I got a name, but that's it. I'll have to dig further.
So... your new space has been cleared, or at least should by now. The FedEx Kinko's is gone. And it is your office.
Well, then for payment, I will accept only food.
I'm sure we can make that happen. Do you have a particular taste this evening?
Men, Vera, just men.
Well, the good news is the world is overpopulated with them, so we'll find you one, Duke.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a mess to clean up.
Yes.
And he cuts eyes at Shaun.
Before you go, just to make it clear, the party that we're having will now be my funeral. While I was staring at my insides, I had a meditative moment of inspiration. Whoever wanted me or us dead, whoever wants Max dead, got their wish. Until my funeral, everyone is to think I am a pile of ash. I imagine that whoever was bold enough to meet us on the street corner would also be bold enough to show up to my goodbye. And I suspect me appearing at just the right moment would put a look of, what do we say, shock upon their little kindred face. And if Duke is good at one thing, it is reading people. We will set a trap.
So, I have a question. Is it temporary kind of erasure, like you want Vera's dead?
Yes. I want this to be
okay.
Oh no, the scourge of New York came here and only survived Chicago 4 nights. Let us mourn her or celebrate, whichever you prefer. And then I will make my grand entrance at the party. But that also means that I can't leave this hellhole of a room
for at least another few nights.
Okay, so the reason I was asking is because, if you're going for if it's only gonna be a few nights, it's not a big deal. But if you're going long term, you probably would want to get the 0 demerit.
Oh no. Inside of the coterie, we'll consider this a resurrection party.
Pretty cool kind of party.
This is fine. I will work on disseminating the information.
I'll get the gear.
Wonderful. Start planning and get the hotel staff on something beautiful and macabre.
Okay, I got some ideas.
I will call upon John to get me a brand new outfit, and I will send Lyle to your room, Duke, whichever you prefer for your first form of payment to solve this little demon problem we're facing.
Very well.
Would Duke set up a rigorous feeding schedule every 2 weeks, every week?
Probably just when he calls upon him.
Okay, cool.
We'll find you something more permanent, but for now, Lyle will have to do.
Well, it was fine.
Speaking of Vera, you still have 4 hunger. Where do you want to feed?
Well, my plan was to feed on Lyle, but
Okay.
I recognize Duke's needs are different than my own, and I can feed on just about anyone. But unfortunately, to feed the truth of this matter, I can't call upon the hotel, so Vera will figure something out.
I essentially just need to make you make a hunger frenzy check when you feed again, which is what I'm getting at, but we can...
It'll be a little bit. Right now, she'll just have to simmer in her anger and her hunger. But I will call for John, and I will send for Lyle to come to the hotel and meet Duke if that is what he needs.
And meanwhile, Duke is leaving, and so is Shaun.
Yes.
Does Shaun have anything he's looking to do in particular tonight? Or does Duke request Shaun to stay with him?
He would ask if Shaun would be interested in walking with him for a moment.
Oh, that's perfect. Shaun, I'd like to speak to your girlfriend alone.
I'll ask if she wants to come and visit her scary...
Oh, no. That wasn't a request.
I know, but I'm nicer when I ask these things.
Have her come see me.
Okay.
Shaun tags along with Duke.
Yeah. What do you want, Duke?
And I imagine you send word for Mia to make her way down there, so she will.
How are we feeling, Shaun? Refreshed?
Yeah. Everything is a lot clearer right now than it has been in a while, so that's good.
Do you have an accident?
Yeah.
Did you have an accident, or did whatever's inside of you have an accident, Shaun?
Well, it certainly rose its head during the event. I mean...
Where are you at within this right now? Are you accepting this for what it is?
I don't know. I want to know more. But I also realize that it's not actually done anything but try and goad me so far. The worst that it's done is tear someone's throat out. The worst that it's done is try and annoy me more than it has already, and I don't know if that's a problem. There are a lot of upsides. Do I want it gone? Maybe. Do I want to spit fire forever? Maybe more.
And what do you do when it calls upon you to incinerate or insanguinate Mia, a threat to its very existence, or even myself, a member of your own coterie?
Like I say, I'll work on getting a handle on it.
I don't want to assume the worst with you, Shaun. I've had years with you at this point, and it's safe to assume that I feel some comfort in your company. But I would like to assist in any way possible, and there will be some minor demands, some things that I don't believe that you are going to have difficulty parting with. At the lightest form, probably blood, but I want to help you. I don't want to see you succumb to the flame and become something that you're not.
I do want your help, Duke. I think knowing more will help. But when it comes to it, it'll be my decision of whether we try and get rid of it or whatever.
Then with your permission, I'd like to investigate further.
Please do.
Please try not to have any more accidents.
Yeah, I need... I'll see about getting us a better source of blood, because right now I'm draining this hotel dry and I'm still feeling kind of rough, and that's going to take a couple more nights. So maybe I'll work on that.
You are resourceful, if not anything else. You've proven that much. But for the sake of your character and your reputation, I will not be reporting this to Vera. I think it would make her rather unhappy in her current state.
Yeah, thank you. Well, the good news is that whatever source of blood that I managed to find will benefit everyone.
I'm assuming so. We have angles that we can prod and poke to find more bagged blood. But I would try not to. Most of them are tied to Max at this point. Sam has still shifted away from being a paramedic to operating at the blood bank, based under my guise and my recommendations. So maybe he'll help us, but I don't want to push upon that if Max is not comfortable with it.
Well, we diversify our portfolio, and then we make a killing.
Spoken like a Ventru. Be careful. Arouse the eyes of my sire. He's hungry for new blood.
Well, honestly, if your sire knows any Samitsi, I've not met any.
I intend to reach out to him. If not for this reason, then for another. Some things have been on my mind. And there is no secret that he's been trying to poach me from Vera for more than a few years.
Vera's always got a better offer, right?
I would hazard to be honest and say that that is inaccurate. Cesar has always had the better offer, but I'm not interested in what he is selling me. I figured Cesar out.
Yeah?
Vera, I'm hardly flipping the first page of this book.
I feel like we're about to learn a lot more about Vera. I don't know whether I should be scared or worried about what she will do when she finds the person who tried to kill her just now. And the person who's trying to kill Max.
Well, Shaun, I can tell you, as I followed her work for years before I located her finally. She will pick them apart. Slowly, over time, leaving pieces of them scattered across the room. It will be an intricate and exquisite painting of blood and viscera.
Well, good luck to them.
They will need that much. I wish to see to my office and make some reaches out. I think I'd like to speak with the Chantry. I have some information, most assuredly, tucked away in those walls.
Ooh, speaking of walls, check under your rug when you get in there.
I will. I don't like surprises, Shaun. I don't like being caught at surprise.
Yeah, but unfortunately for you, I love surprising people.
There's a strong... Duke probably becomes a little flustered at the notion of that.
The unstoppable force meeting the immovable object when it comes to surprises.
Then he will. He will quickly find himself away. You notice he picks up pace.
Yeah, he's like, we gotta go find out what this is now. You get there, and I'm curious what's under the rug.
Oh, him and Mia have carved a permanent ritual circle that is useful for all sorts of situations. It's got several attachments, you know, the usual deal.
Mm-hmm.
Carved into the floor nicely and beautifully, but permanently.
He puts the rug back. He mumbles to himself, I'll ask more about that later.
And he with determination walks off to take care of the beginnings of his work. And our camera would shift back down to the basement as the door shuts, and you hear Mir's voice over the silence. Miss Volkov, you requested me?
I did. Shut the door behind you.
You hear it click shut.
As of this moment, and until I say otherwise, I am officially dead.
There, you see, wits insight.
It's two, pretty standard.
With two successes, it's brief. You catch just a moment where she seems like she looks like she might ask something or is confused, but you see that disappears in under a second as she just accepts what you say and seems to be just move on.
I know, a bit of a surprise considering the fact I'm standing here in front of you in flesh and blood. Vera probably begins circling her, kind of like a buzzard, getting ready to, as Duke so put it, pick the food off the corpse.
Are you attempting to intimidate her a little bit?
Not yet. Not
No?
yet.
Okay. Okay. So she watches you.
Mia, since it seems Shaun is not going to get rid of you, which is truly a surprise to me, considering the fact of his old fuckboy antics, I am going to have to accept the fact that you are now in the know. Part of the circle of people that I hold dearest.
If there's a beat of silence where she's like, there's room for her to reply.
Oh, yes. Speak, child. This is a conversation, after all.
She just, she says, and I inherently understand the weight of that being my very life.
Mia, if there's one thing you'll learn about me, death is not always the first choice. That is easy. I can do things that will make you wish for death.
It's almost you saying that reminds her that you were once, the scourge. It's something that's easy to forget with the way you carry yourself.
But that's not why we're here. Not for me to threaten your life or to beg you to bend the knee in some unnecessary form of honor. No. There are more important things at work here. And if you're going to be a part of them, it's time for you to begin working.
There's almost and you don't have to make a roll for this. Her look, while pretty stoic for the most part, when you say that, you see relief almost. You would say kind of hit her face.
Shaun is struggling quite a lot. I want you to be my eyes and ears. Duke is taking care of him in as much of a nurturing way as Duke can. But you have his heart, which means he will tell you things that he will never tell us. He will become vulnerable in front of you. And I say that not because I want to use it against Shaun, but because I worry for his well-being, as I imagine you do as well.
There's a few beats of silence before she continues. You taught him politics well. He knows how to hide things from even his friends now.
Yes, I did.
You should be proud of him at that, but I also understand and agree. I don't know what's going on with him. We've been busy.
Busy doing what?
She kind of just looks around, as in just adjusting here.
Well, let's say we're adjusted. I have a soft spot for Shaun. A small one, but a soft spot. When he was delivered to my door as thin blood trash, I expected that he would not rise to the occasion.
When you talk about him being dropped at your doorstep, guilt, knowing full well she was the reason he became what he did.
And regardless of your part in all of that, you have proven yourself and you brought him back to us. So, do us both a favor, considering the fact we both care for Shaun, and help Duke make him better. If you know something about what Father was doing with demon worship, now's the time to tell Duke.
That's the first time you've said that in front of her, and you, again, see a look of her eyes just widen.
Yes, Mia. Welcome to the party.
She almost instinctually rolls her eyes and almost lets her actual self kind of come through before realizing, and she stops herself. She's like, no, I didn't realize it. You're saying it carried.
What carried?
The demon stuff. I know Father was involved in some way. I know very little.
I would say it more than carried, Mia. Shaun is interacting with it, finding himself in different places and times, things that are not of this world.
She looks perturbed, not at you, at just learning the information. She's like, maybe he's not as different from Father as I thought. He willingly worked with whatever this thing was. He kept his closest the furthest away from it, which is why I know it's dangerous, whatever it is.
Do not let your feelings get in the way of what has to be done.
No, you see a look of determination on her face, and she nods.
If you want to save Shaun, put your shock aside, get to the bottom of it. Now.
She just nods.
For the other part of this conversation. Do you understand? Have you ever heard the black swan metaphor?
I have, yeah.
Ah, then you are more in knowledge than most. I didn't take the name Black Swan for any reason. There's a reason we are posing my death. To out a series of kindred who believe that they have bested the Drac Pack. To complete this, I must reincarnate myself. And you watch as Vera begins to unzip the vinyl she's wearing, the many layers. She completely begins to disrobe, kind of in front of Mia. She says, I'm going to need new clothing. I cannot send John, and I cannot go myself. And though our styles are competing, I trust that you can fulfill my needs.
She just kind of nods and goes, yeah, I'm not Not everybody's going to look good in the stuff I wear, obviously.
Vera thinks, but does not say, not even you look good in what you wear, but that is that is kept underneath.
Yes, of course. You're a composed Storyteller.
I'm tired of being at the wrong end of a poison dagger. I will be Black Swan to this city.
She kind of you see it sink in, and almost the weight of what you said just kind of hits her. And she picks up the clothing.
Burn them. All of them.
If you are looking to remain here for the next couple of days, there might be some potential light rituals I could do to ensure the safety of this room, preventing ghouls of opposing others from entering. Simple things.
It would be very helpful.
She nods, and you see her eyes kind of darting back and forth as she's clearly lost in thought for a second, probably just running through the different rituals she knows. I'll involve Duke. I can help him more.
Yes. His desire for knowledge is reassuring, and I'm sure you can help him find what he seeks.
Thank you. It's been hell doing nothing.
I had a feeling. I want you to be more than Shaun's girlfriend. But it is on you to figure out what that is, and how that fits within our coterie. I do have one more request. A small item, but important that you get it right. Vera writes something on kind of a pad of paper and rips it off, and now standing there completely barren of clothing, kind of walks almost a little too close in Mia's space and kind of hands it over to her.
And she takes it.
Exactly as written, do you understand?
She looks down.
I will see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
And thank you.
She doesn't know how to take that. It's Vera, of course, and everything that they've been through together. It could mean the thank you alone could have many implications. But within less than a second, she just gives a pleasant smile, and there's a returned spring or lightness in her step as she spins on the ball of her foot and makes her way out of the room. And as the door shuts and our camera is just behind Vera's shoulder, we just see kind of more of a darker shadowed silhouette. The door shuts, the screen goes black. And we'll return next week. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We'll be back. Goodbye.